Once upon a time, in a bustling town in Nigeria, there lived a man named Uzo, a hardworking farmer who had built a prosperous life in the town. He lived with his beautiful wife Ada and 3 children, Nena, Obinna, and Chijoke. Every year, they would journey back to their village for Christmas, a tradition that was deeply rooted in their family. For Uzo, it was that time of reunion with his relationships, sharing stories and reconnecting with his roots. The excitement of family, food, and festivities in the village filled his heart with joy. As December approached, Uzo's enthusiasm grew. "Children, it's that time of the year again. We'll be going to the village in 2 days. We'll see your grandparents, uncles, and aunts. It's going to be wonderful," he announced one evening, with his eyes sparkling with excitement. But Ada, his wife, was not so eager. For several weeks, she had been having unsettling dreams that filled her with dread. In one, she saw their family walking into the village, only to step into a trap set by an unseen enemy. In another, shadows surrounded them, and a voice warned her to be cautious. Ada woke up in a cold sweat each time. She had prayed over these dreams, trusting that God would protect her family, but the fear lingered. One evening, as they sat together by the fire, Ada could no longer hold her worry. "Uzo," she said gently, with her voice filled with concern, "I have had strange dreams that keeps warning me. Doesn't seem right that we travel this Christmas. I feel that we should stay here in the town this year and visit the village next Christmas. Please, let us not go this year." Uzo, ever the practical man, chuckled softly. "Ada, my dear, these are just dreams. Don't let them trouble you. We've made this trip every year. Nothing has ever happened, and nothing will. Trust me, the children are excited, and we will have many relatives waiting for us in the village. Let's not break traditions." But Ada could not shake the unease in their hearts. She continued praying, asking God for protection and understanding. She believed that her dreams were not random, but she was trusting that if anything was amiss, God would intervene. Yet, despite her prayers, Uzo remained determined. Little did Uzo know, his brother Chidi, who lived in his village, has been plotting against him for years. Chidi was a man filled with greed and jealousy. He envied Uzo's success and the love that Uzo had and his family. Over time, Chidi had come to resent Uzo's visit to the village, knowing that each time Uzo comes back, his influence grows stronger. Chidi had always longed to have all the family's land to himself, and he knew that if Uzo returned with his family, he would solidify his claim. In his bitterness, Chidi sought the help of a local witch doctor, a man known for his sinister powers. He paid the witch doctor to prepare a deadly charm poison that would be laid at the entrance of the family's compound. The witch doctor promised that the poison, when stepped on, would cause death within hours. Chidi was confident that once Uzo and his family arrived, they would all perish. Then, the land would be his. Meanwhile, Uzo and his family began their journey to the village, the excitement building with each passing miles. The children chattered in the back of the car, eager to see their cousins, and Uzo kept his mind on festivities that awaited them. Ada, however, couldn't shake her unease. As they drew closer to the village, her thoughts grew heavier. She felt that her dreams were not a warning, but a call for action. The sun was setting as they finally arrived at the entrance of the family's compound. The large gate stood before them, and the smell of wood, smoke, and fried yam filled the air. Uzo's eyes brightened as he opened the car door, stepping out with a broad smile. "Home, sweet home," he said. taking in the familiar sight of the compound. But as Ada stepped out of the car, she noticed something strange. The ground at the entrance of the compound seemed to have a fine white powder around. Ada's heart skipped. She had seen this in her dream. Her mind raced as she remembered the warning. She quickly turned to Uzo, but he was already walking ahead, calling to his children. "Uzo!" Ada called out, her voice trembling. "Stop! Don't step there. Something is wrong." Uzo paused, puzzled. "What do you mean, Ada? It's just death. Come." The children were waiting. But Ada's instincts were sharper than her husband's. She could feel the danger in the air, thick and palpable. She whispered a quick prayer under her breath. With trembling hands, she stepped carefully around the powder, avoiding it as best as she could. But when Uzo stepped forward, he advertently crushed the powder beneath his feet. Instantly, Uzo staggered, his leg giving way beneath him. "Uzo!" Ada cried out, rushing to his side. "What is happening?" Uzo felt a sharp pain course through his body. His vision blurred, and his breath came in shallow gasps. He collapsed onto the ground, unable to speak. Panic spread through Ada's heart, but she did not allow fear control her. She knelt beside him, placing her hands on his chest, praying fervently. "Lord, protect my family. Please, spare us from this harm. You are our shield." Ada prayed, her voice shaking but determined. As she prayed, something incredible happened. A soft golden light surrounded her hand, and a calm peace filled her heart. The poison that had been meant for them had lost its power. Slowly, Uzo's strength returned, his breathing stabilized, and the pain that had gripped him began to fade. Ada looked up, and her eyes met with the eyes of her brother-in-law, Chidi, who had been watching from a distance. His face twisted in a mixture of shock and anger. He had expected that no one survives the poison, but Ada's unwavering faith had broken the spell. "Ada," Uzo gasped, finally finding his voice. "What happened? What did you do?" Ada helped him to his feet, her eyes never leaving Chidi's. "Your brother, Chidi, Uzo, has plotted against us. This poison was meant to kill us, but God has protected us." Uzo turned to Chidi, his eyes filled with disbelief and betrayal. "Chidi, why? Why would you do this to me?" Chidi's face flushed with shame, but he did not speak. He had no defense for his jealousy and evil deed. His eyes darted to the ground, unable to meet Uzo's gaze. "I have always been envious of you, Uzo," Chidi finally admitted, his voice low. "You have everything: success, family, respect. I wanted it all. I thought if I could get rid of you, I would be able to claim the land and the honor of the family." Uzo's heart sank as he looked at his brother, but Ada stepped forward, her eyes filled with compassion. "Chidi, your actions were wrong, but know this: you still have time to make things right. It's never too late to seek forgiveness." With that, Uzo and Ada led their children away from the compound, leaving Chidi to reflect on his actions. The family returned to the town, and though their hearts were heavy, they knew they had learned a valuable lesson, that prayer and faith had saved them, and no evil can stand against the power of God.